Look at this. What do you see? I don't even want to tell you. You tell me what you see. Is Bubble on Caine's Caine? Yes. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? We have Caine, the red dot, Bubble, the blue one, and what is Bubble doing? Bubble's eating the yellow one. Why? I saw this for the first time today, and I was like, dude, that is so cool. It's so cool when you see it. It's so cool. Caine is the red AI who eats Bubble, the blue AI. But the thing is that Bubble had already eaten the yellow one. If Bubble is the blue AI, Bubble got a data stream of yellow stuff. That is why I think the data streams themselves could be the AI. I don't know. It's just a lever. Yeah, I know it's just a lever. That's the thing. That is the thing. Of course it's just a lever. But this show has so much imagery in every single scene. So much imagery. Where are the Hollow Knight fans? Are there any Hollow Knight fans in here? Why am I convincing anybody that's a Hollow Knight fan that the things in the background that the game is not telling you or the show is not telling you, that like that means something? That's literally all of Hollow Knight's lore. We would know nothing about Hollow Knight if it wasn't for all of the background information, right? I need more Hollow Knight fans in this. I need more Hollow Knight fans. If you believe that Caine is the red dot and Bubble is the blue dot, then let's watch this scene to see what happens and see if we can find the third AI hidden here, right? So we think Caine is the red AI, Bubble is the blue AI, and we see that Caine is eating Bubble in this scene. Okay, so let's watch this because we are going to go frame by frame, my friends. Yes, we are. This is how you learn about the show. Okay, watch. Caine is eating Bubble. Yo, he ate Bubble right here. Red AI eats the blue AI. Okay, we're going to turn the sound off. We don't need the sound for this. And then watch what happens. Watch. Okay, we're going to look for the yellow AI, right? We're going to look for it. Teeth close on itself. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, we're going to keep looking. Oh! What's this? What is this? What is that? This shows up for 1 frame, 2 frames. Caine's Caine shows up for 2 frames. What yellow AI? The cornball. The reason why we're saying there's a third AI that the beginning of episode 8 did not talk about is because this show always works in 3s. It is like a law of the show. The show always works in 3s. And so because it always works in 3s, even though it only showed us 2, we know there's an implied third one. And so we're looking for it. And here it shows this Caine eating this for 2 frames. Okay, why is it showing eating his Caine? Look at this. I just picked a random thing. This honestly I think is why Gooseworx has said this show will be so much more satisfying and cooler when it's over, like on rewatch. Because when you learn in episode 9 that Caine was the red dot and Bubble was the blue dot, the Caine's Caine was actually the yellow one, and we didn't know about the yellow one. The yellow one was hidden. Like this scene right here, it was just a random frame. I didn't even pick this frame. It's just all 3 of them chilling together. And this is why this show is so much deeper than anybody thinks, and why people think I'm insane, because I've never seen this frame. But frames like this are everywhere, all over the show. This is the pilot episode. Honestly, one stream we should just go frame by frame. For all of these, we would learn something crazy, I promise you. I want to see if I see anything. Okay, the 2 dots right here. 2 dots are so important, and they signify like the truck to me, I think. Being hit by the truck. Get green, always important. Humans. Look at him, 2 dots. See, this is so crazy. Oh, that's why it's Gangle. Dude, and Caine loves Gangle, huh?
And you can be the shift manager. You've shown enough leadership skills today to be the perfect shift manager. Welcome back, my candy hearts and paper flowers.
Whoa!
Gangle is red ORBSMAN and blue ORBSMAN.
Oh, hey, it's ORBSMAN.
Oh, I hate this guy.
Never say you hate the customer while the customer is still here. We wait until after hours for that.
In this episode, Gangle asks why she doesn't get an evil clone.
Why don't I get red-blooded evil clothes.
But in this new anime series, Gangle is conveniently missing, and instead there's ORBSMAN. And don't ask me about the mechanics of how ORBSMAN would be there while Gangle is also there in episode 4. But you can see Gangle's tears on this ORBSMAN figure, and the fact that this is not an evil big top series, so this is likely something to be revealed in the future. And I know somebody's already out there typing, no, Danny Gooseworx said that she thought it would be funny if she forgot Gangle. And all I have to say to that is we need to move past the Gooseworx said era. Like, just imagine somebody asking you something over and over again that you know will be a spoiler for the future of your show. At some point, you're just gonna lie so people will stop asking. And I'm not assuming that Gooseworx lying just to lie. I think she just doesn't want the show to be spoiled. But when the lore of the show contradicts what Gooseworx says, I choose to believe the lore. You guys aren't ready for this? Gangle is the atom bomb, a symbol that looks like an atom. I think Gangle is German, which Gangle's name is German, if you look it up. Gangle is German. Every one of these characters are like from different nations. This character is commonly used as a shorthand for Germany. The last thing I want to point out about this scene is how we know that the nation character is in the middle of the table and green plant characters. We've already talked about the possibility of Germany, but this other character here for middle, when combined with the nation character, is actually the word for China. And I know while a lot of you out there might still think that this is a huge overanalysis, when we reel back and talk about it in the context of Abel discussing the higher ups and what they were doing to people, I believe that this is continuing to indicate the more deeper and darker themes of what's happening outside of the circus that isn't just this simple, silly little computer game from the 90s. And so let me make this final point about this. As a community, I know we love to talk about I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream as reference material. So when we think about the idea of the assimilation of humanity, one of the premises of that story is that AM is a supercomputer that came from the three superpowers, the United States, Russia, and China, that brought forth the destruction of humanity and amalgamated into one super AI being AM. So even though you may hear this and think it's way out there, I still think it's within the themes of the stories that inspired this show. Kinger, I think, is from Japan.
All right, class. Today, we're going to learn the popular foreign language known as English.
Not fully sure about that. Pomni's from Russia, Gangle is German. And in this war, whatever's happening outside of the circus, that is a war. There's a war happening.
I do not use my adventures to torture my guests! Any torment I inflict is 100% accidental, like any good war criminal. One where a sentient cardiovascular system goes to war against the United States military, and one where you have to survive in a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland with a telepathic talking dog who's mean to you the whole time. What do you think?
This circus is not a 90s game. Whatever war is happening outside of there has ideological alignments. There's 3 factions because everything works in threes, but there might be 6 nations. CNA might be Canada and America or Australia. There's Germany and Russia, and then China and Japan, I think. I think those are the other ones. I know it sounds crazy. I know. It's okay. It's okay. You're welcome to think I'm crazy. But the thing is that I've realized that Caine is ideologically aligned with Gangle and really likes Gangle. And Gangle, I think, is an atom bomb. So there's that. Every faction in this war has some way that they want to end the war. And there's 3 ways. The first way, Russia and Germany, is a nuke. They have a nuke, and I think Gangle is the nuke. And somehow in episode 9, Pomni's going to have to defuse it based off of President Pomni, and Gangle being the one to come in and blow everyone up. China and Japan, see, there's 4 with that too. That's the confusing part. I think that Scratch's idea was this like single consciousness, and the way Scratch ends the war is by having everybody meld into a single consciousness. And so I think like Caine was created with that. See, this is why I'm like, oh, man, there's too much variability. There's too much unknowns here. So I'm just going to say my stream of consciousness. But Scratch was making the single consciousness. Basically, if you know Neon Genesis Evangelion, the human instrumentality project is essentially what Scratch was trying to build. Everybody goes into a single human consciousness, and by having everyone be united in a single human consciousness, sure, you lose your individuality, but you remove the need to understand each other. Everyone inherently understands each other, so there's no wars. There's no more war. But you have to lose your individuality. Kinger, however, why they call Kinger a madman, and the side of this war that I think will win at the end of the day. Again, episode 9, I think will end with Zooble entering into the real world, stepping out, and turning into a literal monster, because Queenie is the body of the monster, Zooble is Queenie, and Kinger is the head of the monster. Kinger will have been literally killed in episode 9 because they will try to abstract him. He won't be able to be abstracted. He will be killed. And all of this is from intermission time. Go watch intermission time. Okay? Okay? Oh, man. All this is in intermission time. Intermission time spoiled the show. The rest of the cast will have abstracted and become a part of the cornball, become a part of Zooble's consciousness, because that is what Zooble's made of. Zooble has all the minds of all of the abstracted casts inside of them, and that is their conscious. So once the cast become part of Zooble, other than Kinger, who will actually die, they will step out into the world and become a monster, and as such will be Queenie. I think they'll be Queenie. I think Queenie is the monster. Trust. I have like 3 months to try to convince you guys.